as a politician working with animal welfare, I often face the question, are animals sentient beings? Do they have feelings? Can they feel pain, feel stress? Can they feel happiness or comfort? I think they can. I think we have plenty of proof that they can. We even have proof that they can interact in pretty complex social settings. And sometimes, though, I have to then argue against people who say that no, that's not the truth. In fact, animals are just driven by simple instincts. Today, I'm fortunate enough to have Dr. Jane Goodall, whom I admire very much and who's been one great inspiration to me always, and who are also probably one of the biggest experts in the world on this issue. So what do you say to those people who say that, well, animals are only driven by instinct?
First of all, I've spent 50 years learning about our closest relative in the animal kingdom, the chimpanzee. And from all that I've learned over these 50 years, and other people studying chimpanzees in other parts of Africa and in captivity as well, we know that the biological difference between humans and chimps is minute, and socially there are close long-term family bonds. We have communication such as kissing, embracing, holding hands, patting on the back, the sort of things we do in the same kind of context. It's incredibly obvious when you spend time with them that they have emotions like happiness, sadness, fear, despair, absolutely feeling pain. And yet when I went to Cambridge in 1961, the professors told me that all of this was relevant to humans only. And the reason I could stand up and say, no, I know you're wrong. We're not the only beings who have personalities, minds and feelings. I had a teacher when I was a child who taught me absolutely that this is true, and that was my dog, Rusty. Yes. And I don't think anybody can share their life in a meaningful way and not know that it's true.
Well, I totally share that thought, and I also think that really if people learned more about the way animals interact from their childhood, if people have pets, if children go to the zoo, if they are educated in the educational system on the behavior of animals and how animals interact with each other, then we will have far less problems than we do. But another thing that I'd like to just ask you is, you also do a lot of work on the interconnection between development, environment and animal welfare. Could you say maybe just a few words about that?
Yes, I realized in the early 90s that outside the tiny Gombe National Park, where I've spent these 50 years, I knew there was deforestation, but I hadn't realized until I flew over the whole area that outside the park, the forest had completely gone. It was just bare hills. Clearly, way more people living there than the land could support. The land was losing its fertility. People were struggling to survive. How then could we even try to save the chimpanzees? And so that led to the Jane Goodall Institute Take Care program, which has now been incredibly successful. It's about 50 villages now around the park, and it's a very holistic program, improving the lives of people in as many ways as we can, starting with what they wanted. More food, better education for their children, better health facilities. We started that and then introduced what was so important, microcredit programs, especially for women, so that they could take out their own tiny loans for environmentally sustainable projects, and providing family planning and scholarships for girls. And, all around the world, as women's education has improved, family size has dropped. Realizing that everything that goes on is interconnected. It's pointless giving massive aid for immunizing children against disease. If the environment isn't a healthy one, they'll just get sick and die of diarrhea. So all of these problems are interconnected. And it's, I believe, really true that unless we protect the environment, children will not have the benefit of a healthy psychological, or we could say spiritual development. We need the blue sky and the birds singing and the green trees. We need to get our hands into the earth and smell it and paddle our feet in the streams like I did as a child. And without that, we lose this connection with nature, which I feel is just so tremendously important.
That is so true. You can read more about these things at the Jane Goodall Institute's website and at my own website, danj.dk. Thank you very much.
Yes, and ours is janegoodall.org.
Easy to remember.
Easy to remember.
Thank you.